Coldesina, and I'm the Manager of Travel Industry Accounts and also one of the tour hosts for Sports Travel and Tours. I'd like to thank you for taking a little time out of your evening to join us as we talk about baseball road trips and Baseball Hall of Fame induction. Just a couple of things, I guess housekeeping items you might call them before we get underway. First, your phones have automatically been muted, so if you're using the audio from your laptop or desktop computer, you don't have to worry about inadvertently disturbing the presentation. We're not going to be able to hear you. Second, we are going to be opening up the floor to questions and answers at the end of the presentation, and the way we will be doing that is the little toolbar or module that would have popped up when you logged into the presentation has a question little module or a question feature so that you can type in your questions at any point in time during the presentation, and then I'll be answering all of the questions once we finish with the final slide. So with no further ado, we will get underway. So Sports Travel and Tours is in its 20th year of operation, offering fan travel packages to games and events all over North America and to select international destinations as well. In fact, October 1st of this year will be our 20th anniversary. We are best known for our baseball road trips, pro and college football gridiron getaways, Hall of Fame travel packages, and the many classic events that we offer, such as the Kentucky Derby, U.S. Open, and Tournament of Roses Parade. Our experience, attention to detail, and customer focus has enabled us to have a return guest rate that is constantly above 60%. We also have partnered with many great organizations such as the National Baseball Hall of Fame, which allow us to offer many exclusive features to select tours. We're going to start tonight with our baseball road trips. A baseball road trip is a hosted tour between 3 and 11 days in length that travels the U.S. and Canada, seeing major league games in major league parks. Along the way, we may visit museums, historical points of interest, local attractions, and wherever possible, we include guided tours of the ballparks we are visiting. We also allow some independent leisure time so you can explore a city on your own. Why a baseball road trip with us? Baseball fans keep choosing Sports Travel and Tours because of the quality and detailed preparation that go into our trips each year. Our trips offer you the opportunity to see games in great seats and stay in great hotels that are centrally located, so you can use your leisure time to explore a city and its surroundings. Most of our trips are point to point, so you don't waste time doubling back, which means less time driving and more time doing. This year, we are offering 13 different stadium tours as part of our trips. In fact, there's only 2 of our road trips that don't offer any stadium tours, and 9 of our trips offer 2 stadium tours or more. For those of you that have traveled with us before, or if you've been on our mailing list, our brochure is mailing out this week. In fact, if you go to our website, sportstravelandtours.com, you can view or download a digital version of the brochure. We're going to be going through the trips in date order. We'll start off with our Texas Two-Step High. This is a tour that features 3 different ballparks, 3 different games, 6 different teams over 6 days between May 31st and June 5th. You can catch a behind-the-scenes tour of Coors Field, visit the National Ballpark Museum, rocket off to Houston for a journey to Space Center Houston, visit Minute Maid Park, having a tour before one of the 2 games that we'll be seeing with the Astros at Minute Maid Park. Then it's off to the Dallas-Fort Worth area and a game at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Our Central Express features 6 parks, 8 games, 12 different teams over 11 days, June 8th through 18th. Chicago bookends this trip featuring tours of Miller Park, Wrigley Field, and Busch Stadium, a stop at the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame, and a visit to the St. Louis Gateway Arch. Our Windy City Plus is actually the first half of the Central Express. You basically start off on on June 8th. You follow the trip through June 12th after the second game in Minneapolis. And the 4-bagger is the second half of the Central Express. You'll pick the trip up on June 13th in Kansas City and follow it through to its conclusion back in Chicago on June 18th. One of the things that we do try to do is offer as many different tours of various different lengths, because it is important to try to offer different amounts of time so that people that have more time or less time will have a trip that will be just right for them. Our West Coast Classic features 6 different parks, 7 different games, 10 different teams over 9 days. You can tour Safeco Field, the Space Needle, tour of Seattle, AT&T Park in San Francisco, Dodger Stadium, City Tour of LA, and enjoy the food and atmosphere of San Diego's Gaslamp District as you travel from Seattle to San Francisco to Anaheim to Los Angeles and then on to San Diego. Our Northerner, which features 3 parks, 4 games, 5 different teams over 6 days, is the first half of the West Coast Classic. So if you just want to see Seattle, San Francisco, and Oakland, this is a great trip for you. Our SoCal features 3 parks, 3 different games, 6 different teams over 4 days, and it is the second half of the West Coast Classic, seeing Los Angeles, Anaheim, and San Diego. Our Lakes, River, and Harbor, 5 different parks, over 7 different games, 9 different teams, and 8 days. Starting off in Chicago with a city tour and then a tour of Wrigley Field. A quick stop in Detroit for a game, followed by Cleveland, visiting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum, then off to Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Babe Ruth's childhood home, and a game at Camden Yards. Our Downtown Retro is the last 5 days of the Lakes, River, and Harbor, so June 21st through June 25th. Catch 4 games at Retro Parks, including Comerica, Progressive Field, Camden Yards, and PNC Park. Our East Coast Memories is a 6-day tour featuring 3 parks, 3 games, 6 different teams, June 18th through June 23rd. Starting off in Boston with one of our unique features called the Ump's Eye View. The Ump's Eye View is a 45 to 60-minute presentation by former Major League umpire Al Clark, followed by a question and answer session. So prepare your questions in advance. Al's quite animated and has written a book, and I think you'll find that his 20-plus years experience as an umpire in first the American leagues, and then once they combined, finishing off between both American and National leagues, I think you'll find him very entertaining. After the Ump's Eye View, of course, there is also the reception that is featured at the beginning of each of our trips. But this trip also includes historic Fenway Park, and then off to Cooperstown and the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, then off to New York City for games at Yankee Stadium and Citi Field, including a rematch between the Mets and the Royals from last year's World Series. And it looks like I may have skipped a trip here. There we go. So our major minor Pennsylvania tour is June 26th through July 3rd. It's 6 parks, 6 games, 11 different teams over 8 days. You can see today's greats and tomorrow's hopes for making it to the big leagues with 2 major league games at the beginning and the end of the trip in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, and 3 AA games and 1 AAA game in Altoona, Harrisburg, Reading, and Allentown. Our triple play features 3 parks, 3 different games, 6 different teams over 5 days, and also features the Ump's Eye View. Turn 3 on this great tour and begin with the Ump's Eye View, a game at Yankee Stadium, a tour of New York City, stadium tour at Yankee Stadium, and a game at Citi Field are all on deck. And then enjoy a day in Cooperstown at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, and tie up this trip with a great game at historic Fenway Park. Our holiday heaven is 2 parks, 4 games, 5 different teams over 6 days. Starting out at the Rogers Center, you can marvel at the view from the CN Tower, which in Toronto is the largest freestanding tower in North America at over 1,800 feet. After that, you can enjoy the festive celebrations of Canada Day on July 1st, and also some great Blue Jays games. Then, after everything's finished, we're off to Cooperstown, and then finally ending at historic Fenway for 2 games with the Red Sox. Our All-Star Plus is 2 parks, 2 different games, 2 teams over 5 days, July 9th through 13th. Begin by catching a Dodger game and taking in the original Farmers Market in Los Angeles. Spend time at All-Star Fan Fest, watch the Sluggers in the Home Run Derby, and cap off this trip with the All-Star Game. Our Eastern Loop features 5 parks, 5 different games, 10 different teams over 9 days. July 19th through 27th. Start this memorable trip touring Washington, D.C., then include tours of Camden Yards and Yankee Stadium. Cheer on baseball's great players that are being inducted this year, Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza at the Baseball Hall of Fame induction. If this trip's a little bit too long, we have our Going Yard, which is the first 5 days of the Eastern Loop. 3 different parks, 3 different games, 6 different teams over 5 days. Washington, D.C. to New York City. Our Seattle Induction Plus features 2 parks, 2 games, 3 teams over 7 days, July 21st through July 27th. This is a Seattle fan tour all the way with the Mariners playing in Toronto, taking in the induction with Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza, and then ending in PNC Park as the Mariners take on the Pirates. Then we have our Induction Plus, which features 2 parks, 2 games, 4 different teams over 6 days, also including the Ump's Eye View feature. This is July 21st through July 26th. Starting off in New York City, you can prepare to be dazzled, and kicking it off right with a trip reception, followed by our Ump's Eye View, and then tour of Manhattan, Yankee Stadium, then off to Cooperstown for the induction weekend, and then ending at fabled Fenway Park for a game with the Red Sox. Our East Coast Classic is 6 parks, 6 different games, 11 different teams over 9 days. This particular trip also features our Ump's Eye View. It's August 19th through 17th. It's the best that the East Coast offers with games at Fenway, Yankee Stadium, Citi Field, Citizens Bank Park, Nationals Park, Camden Yards, and city tours of Boston, Manhattan, a visit to the Liberty Bell and the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia, and then a visit to Babe Ruth's birthplace and museum in Baltimore. Also, this includes stadium tours at both Yankee Stadium and Camden Yards. Okay, our East Coast Sampler is 3 parks, 3 games, 5 different teams over 5 days. This is the first half of the East Coast Classic, Boston to New York. Our second half of the East Coast Classic is the Mid-Atlantic, and it's from New York City to Baltimore, August 12th through 17th, featuring 4 different parks, 4 games, 7 teams, and 6 different days over 6 days. About 14 years ago, based on customer feedback that we were receiving from travelers, we developed a program called the Baseball Stadium Hall of Fame. The first time that you travel with us, either on one of our hosted baseball road trips or a custom baseball package that we put together for you, we send you a passport to baseball. It's modeled after a U.S. passport, has a page for each major league stadium. Each time you travel to a different stadium with us, we send you a sticker for your passport. Once you have traveled to all 30 major league stadiums, we invite you to Cooperstown, Hall of Fame weekend in July, and we hold an induction ceremony in the Hall of Fame. You're presented with a plaque, and then your bio with a picture is included in the Hall of Fame. So whenever friends or family go to the Hall of Fame, they can go to the main desk and they can look at the book and see your bio as well as every other member of the Stadium Hall of Fame. Our next induction class is scheduled for 2017, and we're expecting close to 50 new inductees. The picture that you're looking at now is the class of 2013, and I believe we had 40 individuals inducted. Each year in late July, tens of thousands of people descend upon the tiny hamlet of Cooperstown, New York, to see baseball's greatest players honored by the National Baseball Hall of Fame. This year, Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. We are currently offering 4 different packages and 3 baseball road trips for induction weekend. 1 trip has recently sold out. The packages all tend to build on top of each other in terms of what's included. Our base package, which is called the Base Hit, is 3 days, 2 nights at the Hampton Inn in Albany. Daily breakfast, round-trip airport transfers for those that happen to be flying in. All of the properties that we use are just within a few minutes of the Albany International Airport, and they do offer free parking if you happen to be driving in instead of flying. Round-trip motor coach transfers on Saturday and Sunday into Cooperstown. All of the trips include a welcome dinner reception. They include unlimited access to the Baseball Hall of Fame on Saturday and Sunday for this particular package, and they also include a one-year membership to the Hall of Fame, so that if you ever happen to come back within that next year's time, you don't have to pay to get into the Hall of Fame. It includes the Hall of Fame awards presentation and Parade of Legends on Saturday. The awards presentation this is the journalism awards that are given out for print journalism and broadcast journalism. And then the Parade of Legends is after the awards presentation, and this is where the returning Hall of Famers and the current class will parade down Main Street, ending in front of the Baseball Hall of Fame. All of our packages include reserved seating for the induction ceremony on Sunday and a box lunch on Sunday after the induction. Our extra innings package is a 4-day, 3-night package, which is identical to the base tip with 2 exceptions. 1, the hotel is the Radisson Hotel Albany, and 2, this includes the Monday festivities in Cooperstown, which is going to be the Legends of the Game Roundtable. This is a 45 to 60 minute question and answer session hosted by a moderator, usually someone from MLB Network or ESPN, and it features this year's class, which would be Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza. Our infield package is identical in length to our base hit package, but adds an upgraded hotel, the Albany Marriott, and then also adds reserved seating in the VIP section instead of just the general admission section. All right, our home run package is also a 4-day, 3-night package, similar to the extra innings package, but has the upgraded hotel in the Albany Marriott, and then also has a couple of key additions. It has a hosted, all of the packages have a dinner reception, but the home run and also the infield have a guest speaker after the dinner reception. This is actually going to be former Major League umpire Al Clark, and there's going to be another guest speaker, but they have not announced who that would be, but my guess is it's going to be a baseball writer or a baseball author. And then also the home run package includes the Artifact Spotlight. This is a really great feature that some of our trips from time to time include when they're coming into the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's about a 45-minute session where you're meeting with one of the curators from the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. They bring out a number of artifacts that are either part of the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum's permanent collection, but not necessarily part of the permanent display collection. What's also nice is when it takes place during induction weekend, like it is on this package, many of the artifacts that they bring out might be on loan from the players that are going to be inducted. So I would expect to see a couple of items both from Ken Griffey Jr. and from Mike Piazza that will be part of this artifact spotlight. While you don't get to physically handle any of the artifacts, the curator will bring them up very close so that you're literally just a few inches away and can see all of the detail for whatever these artifacts are, whether it's a glove. I've seen Cy Young awards, bats, jerseys, cleats, you name it. Okay, and the last package that we have for the induction weekend, which is sold out, was our Grand Slam package. And this added a hotel in the Marriott Courtyard in Oneonta that was closer than Albany. It was about 25 minutes away, so you have a little bit more time each day in Cooperstown and less time on the bus. And this featured a autographed baseball by your choice of inductee. Now, to just kind of recap the different Hall of Fame packages, we've got this nice grid, and a similar version of this grid is available on the website so that you can see exactly what's included. So you can see all of our packages include airport transfers if you happen to be flying in, and subsequently they also have free parking at the hotel if you're driving into Cooperstown. All of them have a trip reception. The extra innings, infield, and home run package include the ump's eye view directly after the trip reception, whereas our Grand Slam package has the umpside view after a post-parade reception on Saturday evening. The Artifact Spotlight is included in both the Home Run and the Grand Slam. All of the packages include the Hall of Fame Awards presentation on Saturday afternoon and the Parade of Legends on Saturday evening. And then on Sunday, the base hit and the extra innings include reserve seating in the open lawn seating area where we're providing the chairs, we're setting them up, we're reserving them in advance. But our infield, home run, and grand slam include reserve seating within the VIP section. All of the packages include a boxed lunch that will be given out just after the induction ceremony as everyone's getting back onto the motor coach. And then our extra innings, home run, and grand slam packages include the Legends of the Game Roundtable on the Monday back in Cooperstown. And then there's also a number of other extras, such as, of course, Hall of Fame membership that's included for everything, unlimited admission to the Hall of Fame, departure transfers, daily breakfast, and then a really unique feature that we're doing this year is that there is a lemonade vendor that is set up in between Doubleday Field and Main Street, and we're offering unlimited lemonade. So you'll receive a coupon, you'll turn the coupon in, you'll get a nice plastic cup with nice icy cold lemonade, and then anytime you need to, you just come back and they'll refill that for free the whole weekend. So that is our presentation. We have a number of questions that have come in, so let me scroll down here and find the first question. Question is, are there any types of discounts on trips? So if you are a current Baseball Hall of Fame member, and that doesn't mean that you're a former player or a former coach, but if you've purchased a Baseball Hall of Fame membership, then you are entitled to a 5% discount on any of our trips. So please keep that in mind. If you are a Hall of Fame member, any of our trips, whether it be a baseball road trip, baseball Hall of Fame induction, or even something that isn't baseball related, you are still entitled to a 5% discount being a member. Someone is asking about what if you want to come into a city a few days before or stay a little bit later. All of our baseball road trips and our Baseball Hall of Fame packages do have the ability to add early arrival nights or late departure nights. So if we have a trip starting in New York and you'd like to come in early and spend a few days on your own, great, we can set up those early arrival nights, and even if you want us to assist in doing some custom trip preparation, maybe you want to do a couple of games on your own, we can handle that as well. Let's see. Next question is, how far in advance can you book a baseball road trip or a Baseball Hall of Fame package? With the baseball road trips, you can't book too far in advance because we can't plan them that far in advance. We will get next year's baseball schedule probably in mid to late October in a tentative schedule. The final schedule usually comes out in early November, so it usually isn't until late November, early December that we can put out our first preliminary baseball road trip itineraries, and then they're usually finalized by mid-January, late January at the latest. With the Baseball Hall of Fame induction packages, it's a little bit different. We have been actively taking deposits for 2020 now for actually pretty much since the day that Derek Jeter said that he was retiring, we started getting calls for people wanting to put money down. So you can put a deposit down for 2017, 18, 19, 20. You could put one down for 2021, but nobody has done that at this point just because I don't believe there's anyone that has retired that we really feel is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer at this point in time. But if you'd like to put a deposit down for 2021, you can certainly do that. A $200 deposit will hold your space, and it is a fully refundable deposit at any point in time between now and 2021. You can call and cancel, and no reason necessary. We'll refund all of your money. If you keep the deposit on hold. What will happen is in early to mid-November, the year before the actual induction, once the trips are set, we will call you and email you the package details. You'll be able to choose which package you want, and then at that point you will just need to pay the difference between 50% and the $200 deposit. So we'll pick round numbers. If the trip is $1,000 per person and you have $200 down, then we would just need an additional $300 at that point in time, and then the final balance would be due 90 days prior to your trip starting. Okay, I don't see any more questions at this time. I want to thank all of you for taking time again out of your evening to join us. Please, if you have any questions that you come up with later, my contact information is there. You can reach me by phone, you can reach me by email, and I would be happy to take time and answer any questions that you have, whether it be on our baseball road trips, Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend packages, or any sports travel packages that we may offer. So thank you again, and have a good evening.